The bottom layer. Luo Feng revealed a smile. Even for him, reaching the bottom 34th layer was quite an achievement. After all, in the abyss of destruction, one of the three poles of the endless primordial space, among many ancestors and lords, he was the first to arrive here. Are you the world envoy of this bottom layer destruction world? Luo Feng didn't rush to make a move, but curiously inquired. It's rare to encounter a world envoy that can communicate, so Luo Feng was eager to learn some secrets of the abyss of destruction from the other party. Yes, the robed figure said with a smile. The world envoys of the previous 33 layers seemed to lack wisdom. Luo Feng said, noting those world envoys operated more on instinct. They can't compare to me, the robed figure replied. As for developing wisdom, be it innate primordial life or source world life like you, they all possess wisdom. Being an existence born from the abyss of destruction, isn't it normal for me to have wisdom too? You know that I'm a source world life. Luo Feng was surprised. The abyss of destruction gathers the hatred, killing intent, grievances, and so on of all creatures, thereby naturally observing the entire ecology of the endless primordial space. The robed figure said, although I cannot step out of the abyss of destruction, what I know might even surpass yours. Eternal land, fire prison wall, and the abyss of destruction being of the same level, do they also contain wise existences? Luo Feng questioned. Possibly, the robed figure replied. Luo Feng understood this point. The ancestors and lords knew very little about those two places, not even having seen the core. Even if wise existences were born, the threshold to witness them would likely be very high. You can make your move against me now, the robed figure said. I am different from the world envoys of the previous 33 layers. Once you defeat me, you will fully control the destruction world. Control destruction world. Luo Feng's heart stirred. Previously, after entering the secretive mountain of destruction, he knew that passing through the 7 layers of test allows one to control the abyss of destruction. Now this world envoy claims that defeating it grants control over the destruction world. What is the difference between controlling the destruction world and the abyss of destruction? Luo Feng asked. The abyss of destruction is divided into 7 parts, the robed figure said. Destruction world is the least threshold required, can be accessed directly. As long as you break through the 34 layers of destruction world, you can control the destruction world. The power of the destruction world is about 1/7 of the abyss of destruction. What about the other 6 parts? Luo Feng was curious. They all have thresholds to explore, the robed figure said. For example, the mountain of destruction you entered is the core of the abyss of destruction. That mountain contains 3 parts of the power. Passing the 6th layer of test can also get 1 part of the power. As for the others, you haven't encountered them. I can't tell you either. Luo Feng was secretly shocked. Destruction world is 1 power. Mountain of destruction conceals 3. Passing the 6th layer test also grants 1. That's 5 parts. There are clearly 2 parts he has yet to encounter. 7 parts of power might have different controllers, the robed figure said. And once a great existence passes the 7 layers of test, they will fully control the entire abyss of destruction. Your power will be completely stripped away. Luo Feng understood. They were still in a competitive relationship. No existence controlling the abyss of destruction has emerged, so it is possible that several strong beings individually control some parts of the power. Of course, it's still far away from saying this, as there hasn't been anyone mastering even a part of it yet, the robed figure stated. Alright, what you need to know, you now know too. The robed figure slightly raised its head. Here comes the challenge. Whoosh, its towering figure instantly transformed into endless black mist, the thick mist easily annihilating Luo Feng's realm of life and death, completely enveloping Luo Feng. Whether it was Luo Feng's realm of life and death envelopment or this world envoy's black mist power coverage, all creatures from the outside world couldn't glimpse into this 34th layer. Such intense pressure. Luo Feng's protective energy layer, holding the characteristics of immortal shadow, still felt the black mist's overwhelming pressure. Even under such suppression, the Crane leader's power couldn't spread, unable to utilize shadow power for movement. Boom, 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 boom. Luo Feng, without hesitation, drew his blade. In an instant, the incomparably dazzling blade light, densely packed, slashed forward. These blade lights cooperated with each other, like surging waves rising and falling, tearing through all black mist obstructions. This was precisely one of Luo Feng's 5 combat techniques, the Destruction Blade Technique. Destruction Blade Technique doesn't care about locking onto targets, it pursues extreme destruction within close range. Your blade technique power isn't bad, a calm voice sounded, as the black mist rapidly coalesced into water, the black water incomparably thick, rolling over. Even Luo Feng's blade light barely managed to slice some black water. The black water flowed to continuously suppress, layers upon layers of blade light, ultimately only leading to collapse. Just a domain alone makes me struggle to inch forward. Luo Feng frowned, knowing that unless a group of lords and ancestors collaborated, none had such deterrence. Sever, inside Luo Feng, 1,080,000,000 primal origins frantically burned energy, and his physical body began partial energy conversion. Endless energy burst in an instant. Luo Feng integrated with the split sky blade, becoming an incredibly condensed blade light. The forbidden technique of the Destruction Blade Technique was one cut to break. Power of breaking was the destruction power Luo Feng initially mastered, and his spiritual will exceptionally matched this path. In creating the primordial blade path, Luo Feng naturally leveraged his advantage, creating numerous severing techniques. Without self-destructing, burning 30% of energy reserve in an instant, turned himself into an incredibly condensed blade light. This was Luo Feng's ultimate mastery of energy control. There's no way his energy reserve is too high. Even if I burn more energy reserve, such immense energy. Even Luo Feng, who has mastered the primordial life and death Dao and primordial blade path, isn't confident in making the energy incredibly condensed without a bit of leakage. Such a condensed blade light, carrying the power of all things, can be cut. Tear, a very gentle sound. Where the blade light passed, the black water naturally split open, and this condensed blade light rushed straight towards the location of the shadow of origin. This strike is powerful enough. A voice of praise sounded. In the black water, a chain condensed and appeared, tough and solid, blocking the front of the blade light. Puff! The blade light swept across, directly severing the chain. This forbidden technique was originally used for slaying enemies, and at this moment, Luo Feng used it to cut through thorns, intending to rely on it to reach the location of the shadow of origin. But within the black water, more and more chains were converging, one by one covering over. The broken chains dissipated on their own, and new chains condensed in front of the blade light again. There were a total of 34 chains, but they gathered and dispersed unpredictably, capable of condensing anywhere in this layer of destruction world. After breaking, new chains would intercept in front of Luo Feng once again. These chains surrounded and intertwined, continuously covering over. Puff, 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 the terrifying blade light that Luo Feng transformed into, after continuously severing the chains hundreds of times, finally weakened in power. As the momentum diminished, the chains immediately covered over him, and in the blink of an eye, they bound Luo Feng's true body. Boom! A terrifying explosion erupted, instantly annihilating the 30-foot chains that bound him, and even obliterated a small part of the surrounding black water. However, the range of the explosion's annihilation was too small, and with the endless supply of power from the destruction world, the black water immediately surged again, and 34 new chains once again condensed. The forbidden technique of primordial battle technique merely blasted open such a small range. Seeing this, Luo Feng's body, condensed with residual power, could only retreat one step before the black water enveloped, quickly returning through spacetime to the 33rd layer. His power greatly diminished. He couldn't fight at all. 33rd layer. Luo Feng fell to less than 20% of his energy reserve in the midst of recovery. With the domain cooperating with the chains, my other battle techniques, including primordial battle technique, can only annihilate a small area. Luo Feng frowned. Only by transforming into blade light and performing the forbidden technique can I sever hundreds of chains and fly a certain distance. This was the furthest method of flight, but once the move weakens, I'll be immediately bound. What should I do, with himself still far from the shadow of origin? It was already this difficult. According to his experience, the closer to the shadow of origin, the more frenzied the world envoy would become. The domain and chains are probably just part of this world envoy's methods. Luo Feng, after all, understood the mysteries of this lowest level of destructive power, and could speculate on some of the World Envoy's methods. If the Dark Messenger and Flame Messenger of the 33rd layer were on par with him, then the sole World Envoy of the 34th layer was oppressing him in every way. The gap is somewhat large. After pondering for a moment, Luo Feng couldn't come up with a solution to break through the seemingly simple Blackwater domain combined with the chains. Go take a look at the Mountain of Destruction, the hidden location of the Abyss of Destruction. Mountain of Destruction, who? Luo Feng came to the Mountain of Destruction once again. Looking at the massive mountain before him, the Mountain of Destruction was pitch black, and its surface was covered with ink-like black mist, while 34 luminous spots akin to stars were interconnected, like the veins of the Mountain of Destruction. The World Envoy said, the Mountain of Destruction contains 3 forms of power, but from the surface, it nurtures numerous weapons, and even nurtures destruction fruits and other things. It also has 34 types of destructive powers, and harbors countless negative emotions, Luo Feng observed. The Venn diagram outlined by these 34 types of destructive powers is the evolutionary direction of the life core on the destruction path. Luo Feng's heart moved. Perhaps evolving the life core along this direction to a certain extent can lead to a path of acquiring a form of power. Among the 7 types of power in the Abyss of Destruction, perhaps the Power of Destruction world is the easiest to access, as any primordial lord can enter the outermost layer of Destruction world. Luo Feng carefully observed, touched, and studied the surroundings of the Abyss of Destruction. The only mountain road entrance to the mountain was blocked by 7 sculptures, and without challenging the 7 sculptures, there was no way to ascend the mountain.